We're back in the flyweight division. Not actually happening at lightweight this time. It's Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopes, although Brian Ortega was talking about stepping up to lightweight. In the red corner, it is 16-3-0 versus the newer challenger, Lopes, who's 25-6-0. I know the numbers don't quite add up because he's not been on the scene for long, but don't be fooled. This guy's been around doing what he does at the highest degree in other organizations. Yeah. He's just relatively new to the UFC, and he's been progressing through the ranks relatively quickly, hasn't he?
Oh, 100%, yeah. Obviously, unfortunately, he took out our boy, Sadiq Youssef, but...
That wasn't unnecessary, was it?
Yeah,
that wasn't necessary.
Is the absolute rise that... it's mad because you can see a fighter and it's always that, like, do you know when a fighter wins and then everyone talks about a loser? When Evlev fought Lopes, no one was talking about Evlev. Everyone was talking about Lopes just because every time Evlev got him down, literally, Lopes was literally... had him in a submission, had him in a choke, had his arm, had his leg. And it was like, oh my God, this guy's crazy.
He really made him work. He really did.
It's mad. The guy's so exciting to watch. He's an absolute killer at his age. It's a tough one for me because I actually do like Brian Ortega. And I like them both. I'm not bothered who wins. It's just going to be sad to see one of them lose, if you know what I mean.
It is true. It is true, yeah. But also, you might also be a little bit less inclined to go with Ortega because he's already got his foot at the door, right? He's been back in...
Yes, that's true.
We mentioned a bit earlier, he went to the lightweight division back in June. They put the fight at a lightweight class for him, and he still dropped out anyway because he performed methodically beautifully against Rodriguez. He weathered the storm, and he methodically went on to submit the guy. Despite all that performance that we've recently seen from him, he's still talking about moving up to lightweight after this card, after 306. So what's your take on that? Bearing in mind, he still only lost to like literally the best in the flyweight division. Do you think it's makes sense? Do you think he should stay, or do you think it's a bad choice?
Like we said, but when we was doing the watch along, if you got one foot out the door of a division or obviously retirement and things like that, like you can have the right mindset. But can I see Brian Ortega sort of mix it in with the best? I can kind of see him in the top sort of 5.
Yeah.
Anything above that is going to be really, really difficult. But don't be talking about changing weight classes or whatever like that before the fight. You talk about it after when you got the job done.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Don't start talking about it before the fight because part of you mentally or subconsciously is checked out already. You know, whether you win or whether you lose, you know, there's nothing tethering you to this division. And so, look, I don't win or lose. It's going to be a huge changing of the guard in every sense of the word. And I think DC coined that earlier this week as well when he said it. What would you be a good welcome fight, do you think, for him in the lightweight division? Fraternize with me for a little bit.
I posted earlier about Faizev maybe getting back into the octagon soon. So that could be a nice little welcome into the lightweight division. Maybe someone like Faizev.
Or do you run him against Poirier, Dustin Poirier? Like, you know, give him like one of the...
Yeah, I think Poirier only wants like sort of really, really big matchups. Don't get me wrong. I know on paper it's a great fight, but I don't think that fight would excite someone like Dustin Poirier.
BSD?
So I think if BSD beats Americano, that could be one. That could be one. Yeah. And if that's the case, I think... I'll tell you what, maybe if Brian Ortega could do it against Rodriguez, whether the early storm with BSD, and then maybe get a late submission round 2 or round 3.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's true. JK's in the chat. Welcome in, JK. I hope you're doing well, sir. He said, let's go Lopes. Tough fight, though.
Yeah, look, it is, right? I actually heard Lopes say he wants to kind of go in there, get the win, and then go straight to the corner of Grasso's fight afterwards.
Oh, wow. You know, because them two are usually in the corner of each other. Yeah, that's true, yeah. Is it Pro Eximus MMA? Welcome in. He says Dariush, Benil Dariush. That's actually a very good one.
Proximus,
obviously, if because Brian Ortega's top 5 of the featherweight division, he could potentially fight Dariush coming off a loss of Arman Saruk, and you never know. Great shout.
That is very a good shout, fight. You know? Proximus MMA. Thanks for chucking that in there. I actually would have to agree with that. I think I would like Dariush.
Be a good fight because both obviously got good grappling. Dariush different kind of grappler to Brian Ortega. Because we saw obviously Dariush getting the best against Gamrot, and Gamrot, we all know how good Gamrot is at grappling. So could Dariush get a better of Ortega in them grappling exchanges?
What's your nap, Fred? Actually, talking about the comment here from Proximus MMA, he says always wanted to see Dariush versus Ortega at 155. Grappler's delight.
Yes, different type of grappler. Everyone sort of doubts him. But he's very, very, very high level. No, you love that
guy. Love that guy. The fight we're looking at tonight, not tonight, on the night this weekend.
That's grappling delight as well.
Surely a little bit, right? Surely. I mean, against Evloev, that fight that he had with him was absolutely gnarly. It was great. He nearly submitted him multiple times.
Yes.
So I don't think Lopes is going to be afraid of taking the grappling to Ortega, although he can stand anywhere. He can stand with him too, I think, confidently as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the ground would be a dangerous place for Ortega, or do you think he'll be able to handle it?
No, this is the thing. I think Brian Ortega, I think jiu-jitsu wise is just a little bit ahead of Lopes. So he could be a step ahead of him. I don't know if the weight cut or the weight changes had an effect on Lopez's performance against Dan Ige, because obviously Dan Ige stepped in at short notice to fight Lopes in his last outing. Lopes looked very, very tired in that third round. And I mentioned twice now about Ortega weathering a storm. If Ortega can weather an early storm from Lopes, grappling wise, striking wise, then maybe Ortega could get a late submission. I don't know. Just because I haven't seen Lopes tire like he did in his last outing, but that's why I don't know if the weight cut and the weight change and obviously change of opponents all sort of married into one had an effect on his performance.
Still respect Ige for stepping in for that. Honestly, I don't forget that.
3 hour notice, like mad.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? He got the call. He's like, I'm on my way. Let's get the gauges up for this. Do you want to get some chats ready?
Yeah, welcome in. Wells says, salute, fellas. Welcome in, Wells.
Yes, Wells.
Doing well, sir. Hit us up with what you think is going to happen with these gauges.
This is where the rubber meets the road, right?
Yes.
Striking. I will go with Lopes on that one. Although...
Yeah, it's a little bit more slicker, but Brian Ortega's striking has improved. Obviously, a lot of people may just instantly pick Lopes, but don't get me wrong, Ortega's striking has massively improved.
I agree, because to win against Rodriguez, your striking has got to be somewhat good.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like you said, I think he just weathered that early storm, and he was using what I think it was Ribovic should use, take one to land one, and he was doing that against Rodriguez.
Yes.
He was taking one to get in close to get the grappling, and you kind of have to do that against someone like as kick orientated as Rodriguez.
Yeah, and someone like Rodriguez who doesn't put full intention into all of his shots. You can take one. You know, some of his shots are rangefinders.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, exactly.
So he can do his work. Power on Lopes because
I agree with that. I agree with that.
But grappling, you do think that's going to?
I would say Ortega. Yeah,
Ortega for grappling. I wouldn't be too mad at it. I would probably say, yeah, you got to give him something. Speed.
Speed, Lopes for me.
Yeah. Cardio. Okay.
Cardio.
Ortega, right?
I would say Ortega.
Yeah.
Because he's got a bit of grit as well. Because, like, don't get me wrong, in that Max Holloway fight, he was getting pieced up and he was still coming forward. And that's what I'm talking about, being a bit gritty. And the same in the Rodriguez fight as well. He wasn't
Mexican grit is a thing now, man.
He wasn't
Put it
getting
on the map.
Like battered like it was in the Max Holloway fight. But he was like, his face was getting jabbed, he was getting kicked in the face. And he was still trying to come forward to get close, to get the grappling. And all he needed was that one moment. Wales says, just while I'm here on this point, he says Lopes third round TKO. Ooh, for Wales.
Interesting that.
MMA says, I think Ortega has a striking advantage in terms of technique, but Lopes' speed and power advantage quite significant. So we'll cancel that out until Lopes tires if he doesn't slow down again. And 100% Proxys MMA saying about just the differences. And I don't think I've ever seen Lopes slow down. You think like the Evlev fight, he was getting grappled, taken down. And his submission attempts were relentless, and he was getting up and then putting the pressure on Evlev. And then it comes to the third round of to the Dan Ige fight, and Dan Ige was coming in strong. So Wales saying third round TKO for Lopes. I think it could be a third round submission from Brian Ortega.
Wow. Yeah, I do like it when Brian Ortega comes out and surprises me, like he did against Rodriguez. All for it, absolutely. Yeah. And I might even ask the same question: if he beats Lopes, does he still change division? He's kind of got.
Well, that's the thing. I find it quite baffling why he thinks he wants to change divisions. Like,
if he beats Lopes, then because I do understand that if Volk still had the belt,
but that's the thing. He's not fought Ilya, so
he's right.
You know what I mean? And again,
it does kind of seem like he's running from him. It's like, man, what did he do to you that you got to run from him? Like, come on, man, stick around a bit longer, see what happens.
If he beats, like you said, he'd be on a 2-fight win streak, and he's beaten Rodriguez, which is a tough fight.
Yeah, he's only lost to like the best.
Exactly that, man. I think maybe if he fights one more, maybe if he fought someone like Arnold Allen as well, then he's there for the title because obviously we're going to see Ilya fight, obviously Max. Then maybe we're going to see Volkanovski fight Ilya if Ilya was to win. Don't get me wrong, that fight would probably happen. And then I think Brian Ortega was to fight one more time. He's there for the belt. If you're going into the lightweight division, like I said, maybe the best bet you'll probably get would maybe be Fizev or
BMF.
Dariush at number 7, like Dan Hooker. You're getting into the Justin Gaethjes. You're getting into the Dustin Poiriers and the Charles Oliveira's and the Arman Sarukians. Brian Ortega against Islam. Come on now. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not saying that would ever happen, but I'm just saying like weight wise. You know what I mean?
I will probably go with Lopez on a night. Looking at it, to be fair.
Mate, don't. I really don't know. Oh, before I even pick my pick, Proxys MMA, thank you for the £5 donation. It says keep up the great work. Proximus. Oh, thank you very much, sir. That's very kind of you.
Incredibly
Hopefully
kind.
We see you there for the watch along. Hopefully we see you there for the watch along.
Absolutely, man. You're welcome. You're very welcome in this house.